Hi, welcome. This series is solely dedicated to Psychology Paper 2. So, we are going to go reverse from the latest to the oldest based on the NTA Net Previous Question Paper order from December 2019 to June 2013. Let's begin, shall we? December 2019, question number 1. In what sequence the social combination rules are followed for group success? So, that's the question, and these are the options. Option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 4, and they are jumbled, and they want us to find the right sequence. So, what is the right sequence? Now, I'm not going to tell you right now. So, in order to know the answer, you need to know few things. Namely, what is social combination rules? What is taxonomy of tasks? Who proposed it? And what are the dimensions? And finally, you will have your answer. You might be thinking, hey, I just need an answer. Then go get yourself a keybook, man. But our design ensures you are capable of answering 100. Alright, Ivan D. Steiner. Who is this guy? Ivan D. Steiner contributed greatly to the research on group performance and famous for his work, The Classification of Group Tasks, or otherwise called as Steiner's Taxonomy of Tasks. So, in his book Group Process and Productivity, he identified a taxonomy of group tasks and divided into 3 categories. They are component, focus, and interdependence. Component is simply about can a task divisible or not. Focus is simply about is the task is quantity focused or quality focused. And interdependence, or otherwise called as combinatorial strategies, is simply about how a task members can impact the group performance. So let's review. Steiner is famous for his work Taxonomy of Tasks, and they are divided into 3 categories or dimensions, which are component, focus, and interdependence. Now relax for a bit. Give yourself 10 seconds. As per the Steiner's Taxonomy of Tasks, any group task types can distinguished into 3 dimensions. Now we are going to look into the first dimension, component or task division. And that can be divided into 2, unitary and divisible. Unitary, a task in which work cannot be divided among members of the group. All members in the group have to perform the same task. Alright, let me give you an example. Climbing a mountain. When you are climbing a mountain, there is only one rope. All you have to do is rely on each other and push forward and climb forward. So, you see, there is no division of work in this group task and everyone have to perform the same task. Understood? Good. Now let me give you another example. Moving a piano. 4 people are moving a piano and everybody have to lift the piano all at once. So, same task, no division. Got it? Another example would be solving a math problem. Now you understand why it is referred as a unitary task, right? Because each member has to work on the same task at the same time. And if it gets divided up, it won't make any sense. In this case, specialization among group members is less useful. And what do I mean by that? Simple. We don't necessarily need an expert in our group to do the same task at the same time by the same members. Understood? Good. Now, divisible. A task in which the work can be divided up among the members in order to successfully complete the job. Here, different members can perform different tasks. For example, building a plane on an assembly line or building a car on an assembly line. You see, on an assembly line, each worker have different tasks. One worker do the screws, one worker do the tire, one worker do the doors. So you got the point, right? Good. I will give you another example. Painting a house. One person do the doors, one person do the ceiling, and one person do the walls. I'll give you another example. Playing a cricket. So you see in these examples, tasks can be divided and different members can perform different tasks. In this case, specialization among group members is more useful. What do I mean by that? Take building a car and assembly line for example. Here, one member can do the screws, one member can do the doors, and one member can do the engine, which is highly important. Alright, let's review. Component or task division can be divided into two, unitary and divisible. In unitary, a task in which the work cannot be divided up and all members perform the same task. Alright, now divisible. A task in which work can be divided up and different members perform different tasks. Now, relax for a bit. Give yourself 10 seconds. We are going to look into the second dimension, the focus category. It's simply about is the task is quantity focused or quality focused. In other words, how much the product is produced or how good is the product. And it can be divided into two, maximizing, optimizing. In maximizing, task is focused on quantity, obviously. So greater the quantity, better the outcome will be. For example, group of students are assigned together to complete a test and they were advised that it was time limited and marks were awarded for partial answers too. So the group focused on providing some portion of an answer to as many questions as possible. Now that's an example of maximizing. Understood? Good. Now optimizing. In optimizing, task is focused on quality, obviously, seeking a correct or optimal solution. For example, if the same group of students are assigned together to complete a test and they were advised that marks would be deducted for incorrect or incomplete answers. So now the focus would be on the quality of the individual answers. Got it? Good. That's it. Now relax for a bit. Give yourself 10 seconds. As per the Steiner's taxonomy of tasks, any group task types can be distinguished into three dimensions. We are going to look into the third dimension, which is interdependence, or otherwise called as combinatorial strategies. It's simply about how a task members can impact the group performance, and they are divided into four: additive, compensatory, disjunctive, and conjunctive. Now, I will cover each four in detail. First one, additive. A task in which inputs of each group member are added together to create the group performance. For example, pulling a rope or brainstorming. Now, take rope pulling or weight pulling as an example. The weight pulled by the whole group, by each member, are added together to create the group performance. Alright, let me give you another example. Brainstorming. If you are in a group and your task is generating as many ideas as possible to a particular topic or a particular problem, then each member's different ideas are added together as a group performance. That's it. Now let's see what is compensatory, or otherwise called as averaging. A task in which group performance is based on the average individual's judgment. Alright, let me give you a simple example. Averaging a job applicant ratings. Now, you will be selected by the average ratings given to you by the panel interview members. So here, decision is made by averaging together all the group members' decisions. That's it. Alright, the next one, disjunctive. A task in which group's performance is determined by its best group members. Example would be problem solving, or decision making, or mathematical calculations. Potential group performance in disjunctive tasks is determined by best members in the group. So, more the group consists of best members, then more will be the group performance. Also, keep in mind one successful member can be enough to solve the problem. Simple, right? Let me give you an example. Problem solving, where a group consists of highly capable decision makers has to decide one particular solution to a problem. And the group has to choose one of several judgments or proposals. So you see, it usually focuses more on quality rather than quantity. This is why disjunctive tasks usually comes under optimization tasks, where quality matters. And next one, conjunctive. A task in which group's performance is determined by its weakest group member. I could give you many examples, like mountain climbing or keeping something confidential. Alright, let's take mountain climbing as an example. You can climb a mountain only if all members are putting the same successful effort. If one member becomes weak or tired, we can say that the whole group is only fast as its slowest member. Alright? Also, keep in mind, increasing the group size in conjunctive task will decrease the group potential. Why is that? Simple. Because the larger the group gets, the more likely it is to have a very weak member in the group. Sounds cruel, huh? Okay, I will give you another example. Keeping something confidential. We all know that secret is kept safe only if the group is smaller and more private. If you add more and more people in your smaller private circle, then there is a higher chance your secret will get leaked. Alright, so by knowing all these, now let's take an educated guess. First, you need each group member's input or effort in order to increase your group performance. Second, you need best members in your group in order to increase your group performance. Third, you need to increase your overall average individual's effort in your group in order to increase your group performance. Fourth, by knowing the average percentage, you can now determine who is the weakest and you can train them or eliminate them. So, the right sequence would be additive, disjunctive, compensatory, and conjunctive. So that's option 1. That's the end of the first question of December 2019.